Okay, guys, so welcome into Dioko TV. Today we are going to cover the skill of inscription. Now, for those of you who don't know, your tools for inscription are inscription tables, which can be found at the Alchemy Shop in Valus, as well as the building to the southwest of the Eldir Village Bank. And I'm about to show you where that is momentarily. The resources you're going to use for inscription are the same you're going to use for manifestation evocation, which are mushrooms, lemongrass, ginseng, moss, and then the only thing specifically for inscription are blank scrolls. All of these can actually be found next to the inscription tables where you're going to work, so you don't have to go far to actually get the items. One thing to note about inscription is, or any other skill for that matter, is make sure you stay well fed. Just keep bread on you so that when you start to craft, you can make sure you eat some to make sure your skill gain stays at the very peak percentage. Okay, so real quick, here's the Eldir Bank. Just want to show you guys where this inscription table is because it took me a little bit to find it. And after browsing around, I finally did. So you're just going to take this path here. Don't go into the village center. Just wrap around these rocks here, go up the steps, and then right here you'll see the field mage, the mage, and the master sorcerer. Right here is going to be your inscription table. You're simply just going to double click to access it. And as you can see, you've got scrolls, spell books, and staves. Now, right now, staves are taken out of the game, but we do plan to see those at a later time. So real quick, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a couple things. Now, the most efficient path for inscription is, as usual, up to the RNG gods, because really and truly, skills just going to fluctuate between each individual. We've kind of taken a most efficient path based on when we could move to the next group of skills, or group of spells rather. But as some people have noted, that may or may not be the most efficient way with money to actually gain skill. So before we get into that, let's actually explore the path in which we're going to craft spells. We got to talk about natural selection is kind of what I call it, which is kind of a cheesy way to talk about it. But it's basically naturally the most inexpensive to craft. So, for example, ginseng and lemongrass are going to be your cheapest reagents at 3 copper each. Mushrooms and moss are actually going to cost 5 copper each. Therefore, we want to craft spells that require ginseng or lemongrass over those that require mushrooms or moss. Okay, lastly, blank scrolls are a requirement for every spell. So they're going to cost 10 copper. We've kind of removed that from the equation because it's a constant. So we don't really have to take that into account. All right, so first things first, 0 to 3.5. You can basically cast any spell between Ruin, Cure, and Heal. It's all going to cost the same. It's all either lemongrass or ginseng, so it's going to cost 3 copper per attempt. Okay. The next thing is going to be from 3.5 to 17.8, you're going to cast Poison. This uses mushrooms. There are other options such as Lightning, which costs 2 ginseng or 6 copper, costing a total of, or Poison costs a total of 1 copper less per attempt. So just keep that in mind. From 17.8 to 46.4, we're going to attempt to create Wall of Fire or Greater Heal. Those are going to be 6 copper for the reagents. And then here's the note, the little caveat about picking the most efficient path. At this point in time, it may be better to actually create Poison from 25 to 30 instead of starting right at 17.8 and casting a Wall of Fire, because you're going to use 1 less reagent casting Poison, or creating Poison. And again, this is just entirely up to you how you want to play with the RNG gods. So good luck with that. Okay, once we reach 46.4, from there to 60.7, we're going to cast, I believe, Attack, Cloak, Rock Bombardment, or Energy Bolt, which are pretty much all of the available spells in this tier. So just make what you want. It's all going to cost the same. Doesn't matter. From 60.7 to 70.5, that is strictly going to be Meteor. Okay, it's going to cost you 6 copper for the lemongrass. And then last but not least, Earthquake from 75 to 100 is also going to cost you 6 copper a piece, okay? The total gold I spent when doing this was about 4 gold, 75 silver. So if you budget between 5 gold and 6 gold, that's going to get you GM inscription. Okay, so guys, that's been the live segment on the Inscription Live Skills tutorial. We're going to open it up to chat and see if you guys have any questions. Thank you so much for watching that video. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please be sure to put that in the field below so that we can get to your feedback, answer your questions, and apply that to the next video that we do. Don't forget also to support Dioko TV by subscribing to the channel, as well as check us out on twitch.tv/DiokoTV. I hope we'll see you there.